Rick, do you take a page from their Game 2 strategy? A lot of blocked shots, and it seemed like despite the amount of time in your own zone, you protected the front of the net really well tonight.
Yeah, the positives, obviously, the power play, Casey to Smith, and our D-zone coverage was good. The negatives for me, our neutral zone was not good. They were got to give that credit. Bruno adjusted on a couple of things, and they were going through a neutral zone pretty good. Breakouts were less than average, so good positives on the D-zone, which I think all year we've been a really good D-zone, but I think a couple of things we got to shore up quickly because, you know, they were coming tonight.
Rick, have you felt from behind the bench like this series has had an inconsistent flow? And I don't mean in terms of your team performance, but it feels like not just every game is completely different, but every period almost feels removed from the other ones. Is that difficult for you, and do you feel that way?
That's fair. I mean, I think, you know, I guess at both sides there's been parts of the, whether it's you think there's a flow going, but all of a sudden it just turns U-turn. Like I said, the neutral zone, I mean, they were coming through the neutral zone on us pretty easily. Yeah, but with this series, I do like our D-zone coverage, though. I do. We, you know, as much as they had a lot of possession, we limited a lot of inside. I thought our rails were really good tonight, you know, and if they did get inside, Casey was there for us.
A lot of conversation over the last 72 hours about sort of will to score, and the tweak you make on the power play ends up sort of indirectly moving Besser down low, and him at the net front is key on both of your goals. What have you seen in terms of his improvement in that spot over the course of your 120 games as the coach of this team?
Yeah, he's got a great knack to find that. I mean, the timing of that goal, I mean, that's best. You know, we worked on a play from that goal, which was nice. Obviously, the downhill shot from Millsy, you know, we've seen that before. So yeah, I think it's huge for our team when our power play can find it. Hopefully, that gets us confidence in the 5-on-5 game.
Rick, you said in the past that you're not as concerned with the power play percentage as much as you are concerned that it comes up with big goals when you need it. Hasn't been that great recently, but 2 goals tonight in the low-scoring game. Is that just evidence of that?
Well, the Besser goal, right? That's the big one. You know, gets us a 2-goal lead. You know, they score and they're making a push. So, yeah, I'm a big believer in that. You know, percentages are really when the pressure is on. That's when you want your power plays to be the best at.
And what about your team's play over the second half of the game, kind of defending the lead and shutting down the game? Are there a lot of positives that you can take from being able to play that way and play low event hockey?
Yeah, I mean, we're ecstatic with a win, but we got to make some improvements. I like the way we defended, but I think, like I said, the neutral zone, we can shore up that. I think we can slow them down a little bit in the neutral zone. I think they were coming freely. And Brunette's a good coach. He's got some, you know, he has some really good offensive sets there that, you know, that we're going to have to tweak.
Rick, Casey was dropped into a pressure-packed situation this week. What do you think enabled him to be more comfortable tonight?
Well, I think it's his personality, Frank. I think he's he's not an uptight guy. He always has a smile on his face. I think that it's infectious when he comes in. Even if he has a tough night or things don't go his way, he comes in, spends hours or whatever with Clarkie on the ice, never complains. I mean, his demeanor is just great for that role, and I think, you know, he was just locked in. So I would say just his personality keeps him kind of even keel.
Rick, tonight, JT had the goal, great setup on Besser's goal as well, but also even at 5-on-5 was probably one of your most dangerous forwards. Even in the third period, had a back check where he stripped one of the Nashville players of the puck. How do you grade his performance and what he meant to you guys in this one?
Yeah, I think obviously the snapshot. I mean, that's a typical Millsy goal. I mean, that pumped up the team, and then obviously the nice pass to Bess. Yeah, I think with Millsy too. Like, I didn't think we got a shot there for a while. Then he just grabbed the puck, went through the neutral zone, and just ripped one. I think that helped our team too, a little bit of confidence too, because I think we weren't looking for offense. We were just in the defend mode. And I think when Millsy went out there and did it, it was almost like, hey, yeah, let's start playing some offense. So that's what he does with our team sometimes.
And with the PK, it seems like zone entry denials have been pretty consistently an area where you guys excel. The in zone was maybe up and down at points. It seems like you guys have really cleaned that up in this series so far. What do you like about how you guys are defending in zone on the PK right now?
Well, I think our clears have immensely improved, to be honest with you. Like, we got some good clears in this series, especially tonight. That's been a problem all year. But I think if you can get that puck down, that's 20, 30 seconds, and that helps us. So that's one of them. And, I think for the most part, PK was pretty good tonight.
Rick, Preds seem to be making a point of emphasis of trying to finish every check on Quinn Hughes, which makes sense.
Who's that?
Quinn,
Yeah.
Quinn on the,
yeah.
He's got that escapability, but they seem to get him a couple of times tonight. Is there things that the team can do to sort of protect him, or is that just come with the territory of being a star in this league and he's going to get that kind of attention?
Well, I think our breakout strategy, I think partly we can hold up some players, but also think how you can, there's some things that he can do so he doesn't get hit too. I think it's a two-way street. Obviously the ref, there was a great play by the ref. I mean, Z had a great hit on Yossi, and then they went after Hughes. And then, that's how, they protected, the ref protected that because that was a penalty. I think they tried to grab Huggy. But yeah, no, I think this, if we shore up our neutral zone, we'll have more time on our breakouts. And then Huggy will have some more time to make a play. So I think it just connects. And they rim a lot of pucks, a lot, and they got to a lot of rims on us.
Uncharacteristically tough night in the faceoff circle for Elias Lindholm, who's been so good for you. Was that O'Reilly on his game? Was that just Elias off his game? And how much of that do you have to be mindful of moving forward?
Well, I think that was the other night. I think he owned O'Reilly. They're superior faceoff guys. They're two heavyweights going at it. So, but I thought Lindy was. I mean, I don't know what he played tonight, but he was very good, very good. He very good defensively for us tonight. One of the bright spots for me.
We got two more.
Yeah.
Just one more for me, Rick.
Yeah.
Given how low event this series has been and how little you'd got from your power play, but also from sort of your quote-unquote star players at the top of the lineup, to have Miller and Brock perform the way they did tonight, given the context with Demko and the coming off a loss, I mean, what does that mean for your group? And in particular, given all the conversations about sort of seeing how this group responds to challenges and learns in the postseason, what's a game like that tell you about those two?
Well, it's big, right? Because if you look, the Conn Smythe winner last year, Marshall, didn't score the first 6 games, right? I think when Chicago won their cups, I think Taves didn't score for 8 games. Like, star guys are going to go, but if you watch them, they stick with it. You got to have other parts of your game. So that's our guys are learning. If you're not scoring offensively, you got to make sure that you're good in other parts of the game. So I think that's, now Millsy and Brock have a good game for us. So that's just a lesson for our guys, whoever that's struggling, that make sure your other parts of the game are really good, and eventually the offense will come.
Rick, going back to Casey and his demeanor, the first period, they pushed really hard. They really took it to you guys. I don't think they didn't really get a lot of shots on net, but there was a lot of consistent forecheck. Casey looked strong. He looked confident. He looked like he was tracking the puck well. What does that do for the rest of the group when you see him locked in like that in a really tough situation? Does that permeate through the rest of the group, even to the coaching staff?
Yeah, I think a couple of saves there, he just looked big, like he wasn't side to side flopping. I think that really gave confidence to the team. But they had you're right, they had a couple of pushes and chances, and if you looked, Casey was right on the crease and he looked big. He wasn't, and I thought our big D tonight played well. I thought Z was good. Susie, go down the list. Myers, I think they protected the house pretty good. But I just thought Casey, especially after the first period, I think one of the coaches said, Casey looks good tonight. Like you can just tell that he had it.